What if I told you there's a small hidden spot on your head that can melt away a headache in just minutes without a single pill? For years, many of us have reached for pain relievers at the first sign of a headache, thinking it's the only way to find relief. But there's a quiet secret that few people know, one that's been used by skilled therapists and even grandmothers for generations. Imagine sitting at your kitchen table feeling that all-too-familiar pressure building in your head. This time, instead of swallowing another pill, you simply press in the right place, and the pain begins to ease almost like magic. Today, you're going to learn exactly how to find and use this little-known headache spot, along with a few other simple techniques to help you feel better fast. Before we get to the step-by-step instructions, it helps to understand what's actually going on when you feel that pounding or pressure in your head. Headaches are incredibly common, especially as we get older. For many seniors, they can be brought on by stress, poor sleep, dehydration, even just changes in the weather. Some headaches come from tight muscles in your neck and shoulders. Others are caused by pressure in your sinuses or tension around your eyes. One of the most important things to know is that headaches can show up in different areas of your head. You might feel it at the back of your head near the base of your skull. That's often a tension headache from tight muscles. Sometimes the pain wraps around to your temples or even feels like a tight band across your forehead. And then there are those headaches that feel like they're right behind your eyes, which can happen if your sinuses are inflamed or your eyes are strained from reading or looking at screens. A lot of people automatically reach up and rub their temples, but believe it or not, that's not always the most effective place to focus. Many times, the real source of the pain is a little higher or deeper. The good news is, once you know where your headache is coming from and which spots to press, you can take control. Let's start at the back of the head because that's where many headaches actually begin. One of the most common places headaches start is at the very back of your head, right where your skull meets your neck. When you feel stressed or sit with poor posture, like looking down at your phone or hunching in a chair, those muscles in the back of your neck tighten up. That tension pulls on the base of your skull and can trigger a deep, aching headache. Here's a simple hands-on technique to help release that tension and ease the pain. You can do this on yourself or ask a friend or family member to help. First, sit comfortably and relax your shoulders. Tilt your head slightly forward so you can feel the ridge at the base of your skull. This area is called the occiput, and it feels like a little shelf of bone running from one side of your head to the other. Place your thumbs or your friend's thumbs right on that ridge, just below where your skull curves. Press gently but firmly, letting your thumbs sink in a little. You'll feel the soft tissue between your skull and your neck. From here, you can try two motions. First, just hold steady pressure for about 10 to 15 seconds and take slow, deep breaths. You may already feel the ache start to ease. Next, you can try a gentle pulling motion. If you're doing this for someone else, cup their head in your hands and give a very slight, steady pull backward as though you're helping their neck stretch out. Always check in to make sure it feels comfortable. You can also move your thumbs slightly forward, feeling for two small bumps just in front of the ridge. Use small, slow circles here, or a little deeper pressure. This can feel wonderful for people whose headaches come from tight neck muscles. Take your time. Within just a few minutes, you may feel the pressure at the back of your head melt away. But what if your headache is more on the sides of your head near your temples? That's where the next technique comes in. When a headache creeps up on the sides of your head, you probably feel the urge to rub your temples. That's what most people do because it feels natural. But here's something you may not know: the real trigger point for that kind of headache often isn't exactly in the temples. It's just a little higher. Here's how to find it. Sit down comfortably and close your eyes. Place your fingertips lightly on your temples, then slide them upward about half an inch. You should feel a slight dip there, almost like a little hollow in the bone. Just above that dip is a subtle ridge. That's where the tension tends to hide. That's the spot you want to work on. Using your fingertips, press into that area with slow, firm pressure. Don't rush. Move in gentle, small circles while keeping your fingers in contact with your scalp the entire time. You should feel the tension start to ease as you breathe slowly. Be mindful here: if your head is already tender, you don't want to jab or bounce into the area. Stay steady and controlled. If you like, you can work along the ridge on both sides of your head, moving just a little forward and back, always keeping your touch slow and deep, rather than quick and light. This simple adjustment, moving just a little higher than your temples, can make a big difference in how effective your self-massage is. Now let's talk about a different kind of headache, the kind that feels like it's pressing behind your eyes. For many people, especially seniors, some of the most stubborn headaches feel like they're coming from deep behind the eyes. This can happen for a few reasons. Sometimes it's sinus pressure from allergies or a cold. Other times it's simply from eye strain, maybe after reading, sewing, or staring at a screen for too long. Whatever the cause, that heavy aching feeling behind your eyes can be exhausting. Thankfully, there are a few gentle pressure points you can use to help ease this kind of headache. First, find a quiet spot and take a few slow breaths. You want your body relaxed before you begin. Start with the inner corners of your eyes, right near the bridge of your nose. Use your index fingers to press gently into that spot. You don't need to go deep, just enough to feel the pressure. Hold for a few seconds, then release. Repeat this a few times, always staying gentle, because this area can be sensitive. Next, move your fingers up to the very top of the arch of your eyebrows. You'll notice you can sort of hook your fingers just underneath the edge of the bone there. Apply firm but careful pressure here and then release. Again, you might feel a little knot like a tiny pebble. That's a sign of muscle tension, and working it out can really help. Then move your fingers to the outer ends of your eyebrows near your temples. Press in gently and let go a few times on each side. Finally, place 1 or 2 fingers right in the center of your forehead, just above where your eyebrows meet. Press in firmly for a few seconds and then slowly sweep your fingers outward along your eyebrows, giving them a light pull at the ends. This final motion helps release the whole area around your eyes, easing both sinus pressure and tension. And speaking of sweeping motions, let's finish with one more technique that relaxes your whole face and feels wonderful after a long day. After working on the back of your head, the sides, and around your eyes, there's one more step that can bring it all together: a gentle sweeping motion across your forehead and eyebrows. This simple step is more than just relaxing, it actually helps to calm the nerves and muscles in your face that can hold on to tension long after a headache has started. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Place the tips of your fingers right at the center of your forehead, just above your eyebrows. Press in lightly and hold for a few seconds. You might feel a dull ache or even a sense of release as you hold it. Now slowly glide your fingers outward along your eyebrows, following the natural curve. Keep the pressure firm but gentle, not enough to hurt, just enough to feel like you're smoothing away the tension. When your fingers reach the outer ends of your eyebrows, give a slight pull outward and down, as though you're releasing all the tightness out through your skin. Repeat this 2 or 3 times, breathing deeply the whole time. By now, you should feel calmer, lighter, and more at ease. You may be wondering, though, why bother with these techniques when you could just take a pill? Well, that's a good question. If you're like most people, your first instinct when you feel a headache coming on might be to grab a bottle of pain relievers. But here's the thing: medications aren't always the best answer, especially for seniors. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to the side effects of many common drugs. Overusing pain medication can lead to stomach issues, liver or kidney problems, and even something called rebound headaches, where the very pills you take actually make the headaches worse over time. That's why these natural hands-on techniques can be such a valuable alternative. They're safe, simple, and completely under your control. No prescriptions, no waiting for the medicine to kick in, no worrying about harmful interactions with other medications you might already be taking. And there's another benefit: these techniques don't just treat the headache. They also help reduce the tension, stress, and muscle tightness that often cause headaches in the first place. Over time, practicing these steps can even help prevent headaches from returning as often. So the next time your head starts to ache, try these techniques first. You may be surprised at how powerful your own 2 hands can be. You've just learned a handful of simple, proven techniques to melt away headaches, techniques you can use anytime, anywhere, and without a single pill. I hope you'll give them a try the very next time you feel that familiar ache creeping in. With a little practice, these methods can become second nature and might even help you avoid headaches more often in the future. And here's something else to think about: you can share these techniques with the people you care about. Teach your spouse, your children, your grandchildren. Everyone can benefit from learning how to ease pain naturally. If you've ever tried hands-on headache relief before, or if you try these techniques and they help you, I'd love to hear your story. Please share it in the comments below. And don't forget, take good care of yourself. You deserve to feel your best every single day.